Welcome to Covert Narcissist 101. I'm Kate. Thank you for joining me. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. And don't forget to like and share as well. Guys, today's topic is what things you need to do right after after you end you get out of a narcissistic abusive relationship. Things that you need to do. It's really if you have kids, even if you don't have kids. These are some of the things that you really need to as you're trying to heal to incorporate this. You have to, do these things, because remember when you're with a narcissist, mine is usually they tend to want to cripple you in any way, mess you up financially. I know while I was with a narcissist, God forbid you have money. God forbid you have extra money. And this is a way of, trying to control you. Now, it doesn't matter, as it was in my case that you're making significantly less than they are making. It doesn't matter. These are part of ways to control you. If they can, cripple you economically, then you can't go anywhere, which means they are free to do whatever they want to do. It's all calculated, guys, from day one. It's all calculated in any way. And if you're the one making the money, it doesn't matter. It be in a way where you still feel like you probably don't work. It doesn't matter. So what are things that you need to do after you leave? This is where you need to pay attention to your financial situation. Now this is whether you pay child support or you don't pay child support, because you might be paying child support and it's definitely not going to be using your kids will still be lacking. It doesn't matter because they will not use it how they were supposed to use it. Or you're receiving child support and it shows up this week and then it never show up to the following year. This happens. This is financially where you probably have to have some kind of emergency fund. I never even knew I'm supposed to have that. Well, wait a minute. Let me take that back. I didn't have enough money to have an emergency fund, okay? Because like I said, the narcissist made sure in a way. At the time, it didn't look like that's what he was doing. But I was looking back, I'm like, there's so many things put in place where it makes sure that you have no savings whatsoever. You have no savings whatsoever. So that every time you have to rely on them, even though you're working, it doesn't matter. But this is where you actually have to start putting money away, because you can't count on them not doing the child support then as you're going back and forth with them in court, because they definitely will not, they don't care about enough of the children to make sure this is consistent. Or if you're paying child support, it's not be utilized well. Your kids should still be lacking, regardless that you're paying, child support. So this is where you have put extra things on the side. I actually had to get a second job just before I left, because of course, he tried to put a wrench in that as well while I was trying to do this, but I just knew there was no way I could have extra, money, and I had to do something like that. So this is something that you got to do where you start putting money away, because the narcissist will definitely disappoint you with a child support payment or with you paying regardless of how much you're giving them for child support. It will still come back to the place where they still turn around. It's on you. It still ends up being on you. It's unfair, and we already know how the family court is with these things. So at the end of the day, you still have to carry this burden somehow, because you're the only one that cares. Really, you're the only one that genuinely cares for the kids. Another thing you need to watch out for, and this is of course happened to me, your credit report. Credit history, guys. You need to pay attention to this. I know I mentioned this in a couple of my videos where the narcissist attached my name to a bunch of credit cards I didn't know about, had high balance on it, so pretty much messed me up while I was trying to refinance the house. So you need to check those frequently to make sure, that what is on there is yours. Because if what is on there is there and you're going to get something, you will have to prove that you haven't been paying for that for a year. And the chances are when you're about to get a car or a house or whatever you want to do, that there's nowhere for you to prove this stuff. So they factor that into your debt income ratio, which messes you up your, whatever rate you're trying to get. So I think the banks have where you can get this credit report monthly. I think mine does. But I think every bank where you can get one free or something like that. I believe a year or monthly, I don't know. But I know you get something where you can, keep an eye on what exactly is going on with your credit report and credit history. Another one is, of course, to make sure you have the fraud alert on with the banks. I think it comes with your bank account too, where any weird charges or crazy stuff is alerted, because this will happen. This happened. Try to happen. It happened, or at least he tried to do this one time right after the divorce, where he's trying to take a car payment from my account. So long story, but this is something that you need to pay attention to. You really need to watch your bank accounts like a hawk. I know I mentioned financial and credit report and bank account because money at the end of the day, that's what it is. When you have money, that's the only way you are stable. You need to be economically sound for this to live in the narcissist to work, whether they are making the money or you're making the money, because they will try to mess you up as they've been doing the whole time you're living with them. So that's why all this need to be put in place, especially when you have children with these people. Because they've spent years trying to mess you up in that department. So you have the fraud alert thing where you are constantly paying attention to that, because these people, if they remember you live with them, they have access to your probably driver's license number, social security number, birth certificate. Mine sees the narcissist sees my birth certificate, and so these are things that you need to watch out for, because you don't know what these people end up doing. There's really no law they can't go. So another thing is, if you have minor children, is the immigration, especially if the kids have dual citizenship, is the immigration. And I think you can go to travelstate.gov, where you sign the kids up for children's passports issuing alert program. Children's passport issuance alert program is where you sign up children 16 or less, that anybody can just go and get a passport for them without you knowing about it. So they can't. They need to let you contact you to make sure that you approve, because both parents need to approve for the child, a minor, to get a passport. So if the kids are already on this, they're signed up for this, then anybody showing up to apply for passport for them, you'll be alerted. They will find out from you that if you okay this, if you approve for this, for the kids to get a passport. So, but this only works actually if the kids don't have a passport yet. If they already have a passport that they have, this obviously is not going to work, because this is supposed to prevent anybody from getting them a passport to leave the country. So, but if they already have a passport, this is not going to be effective. But this is something to put in place if the kids don't have a passport yet, or you think they might have a passport, or your kids have dual citizenship, depending on, this is something you need to pay attention to, because the narcissist will try. They will try different things with children, especially if you're going back and forth with the custody. Then obviously they're not trying to get hold of the kids because they want them. It's just because that's what you want. So at that point, it's winning you over. It doesn't matter. The kids don't matter in this. They're just collateral damage. It's just something they have to win. So another thing that you need to do is to report any reportable offenses. So there's a record. What I mean by this is like when the narcissist after the divorce, where he thought he could just show up at my house, in the guise of trying to talk to the children or bring the children stuff, and I sent him a message. I said, I did not invite you over here. If you show up here uninvited, you're trespassing, which means definitely I'm gonna go, report to the police. I'm gonna call the police because I did not invite you to my house. So you report whatever is reported, but don't take anything for granted. Don't let them show up randomly at your place. Come to your house, and it becomes something that they do that is accepted. Besides the fact that is crossing the boundary, but this needs to have some kind of record with the authorities that they randomly show up to your house, and that is something you don't take. So, guys, these are some of the things that you need to do after you leave. Besides you trying to, heal, like we don't have enough issues already trying to get our mind right after this craziness. But this is something you need to be on top of as well, because these people are trying to get over on you, are trying to do something. If you left, they left. It doesn't matter. They will try to win, in quote. These are some of the ways they will come to attack you. All right, guys, get a hold of your mind and everything has to fall into place. Please like and share.